You guys something that I just found on YouTube. Now, the last live you're seeing is this girl talking about Epstein and everything. Yeah. Well, this video looks like it's more disturbing. I get this fucking phone to send up like I had it, and all right, there we go. So this is Epstein's victim's last voicemail before Epstein either got arrested or got killed, which I'm pretty sure if he's in jail, he ain't getting any phone calls. But we're going to look at this and we are going to see what these voicemails have to say about Jeffrey Epstein. Now, most of you guys know about their Epstein. It's all over the internet, it's all over the news. They're still talking about it until this day. Which this stuff happened a while back, and now, while like 2019 when Jeffrey Epstein got convicted or died, with for the stuff, and they're now they're now just putting this file out there. The FBI was covered up for so long, and they didn't want to release the files until they know what actually happened. What are you talking about? Actually happened? The island is still under investigation, and some people are saying that the ranch has a new owner. But if this is under investigation, why are you guys still investigating it? This should have been investigated when you guys arrested him. His ranch, if we arrested Epstein, he had a ranch and an island. If you guys are cops and you have a warrant to go on that property, to search the house, to search everything, well, why have you guys did that when he was not even there, in jail? You guys are fucking cops. Cops act like they can do all this other shit, but they never did it when Epstein. Why the YouTubers are going on these islands, these ranches, yeah, because you know that there's something they're hiding. People are hiding stuff that happened to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, where I think is Jeffrey Epstein had a son. Or no, he had a brother. He had a brother. His brother owns the island and his brother owns a ranch. If we hear any more things about girls getting trafficked to Epstein Island, his brother doing the same thing. But I'm not saying his brother is. But if we hear something like that, then we need to question it. Here we go. And this is breaking news. This is all new shit.
When recruiting young actors for his island is finally being exposed. Leaked voice notes and emails showing Epstein using code words for his victims have just come out. And according to one voice note from his victim,
This is our chat.
Epstein wasn't working alone.
I'm trying. I'm not that type of person. Right? But I was told.
And I understand that, and that seems to be the case with a lot of people. Okay, either they need cash quickly and they fall into this rut. But that's why I'm trying to
I understand.
look into this. But that's why I need you to be totally honest with
I'm
me.
being truly honest with you.
So what else happened?
And then when he started pleasing himself, he got up and he went over to a drawer and he pulled out this your thing. And he pulled out like and he started. It was just like this.
In the early 2000s,
Okay. So, do I even need to continue this live? That girl sat there with an officer and told officer what Jeff Epstein did. I mean, do I even need to continue the live? Because right there shows you how continuous he was. Now we're gonna play this whole video, and I'm gonna be live with the whole thing. I want to see Why is Ellen DeGeneres now involved?
Virginia Dway, a woman from the UK, claimed that Ghislaine Maxwell had taken her to Epstein's island and forced her into inappropriate situations with powerful men, including members of the British royal family, starting when she was just 14. Virginia even had photographs of these men, including Prince Andrew's. Virginia revealed that Epstein wasn't working alone and instead had a network of safe houses and elites all over the US, the UK, and the Virgin Islands. Allegedly, Jeffrey Epstein was bringing women on his private jet to underground parties and networks where high-ranking members of governments and media were present.
It took a lot of people involved. It took doctors, psychiatrists, gynecologists, dentists. All these people knew what was going on, hairstylists. I mean, the list goes on. I could keep going on and on and on. Drivers, chauffeurs, butlers, housemaids. It took all of these people turning a blind eye, which they weren't blind to because we were right there blatantly in front of them. They knew exactly what was going on. Everyone's turned a blind eye in the place where I was supposed to be protected, in my country where I was supposed to be protected. The justice system failed us then. I believe they're going to do something amazing for us now. I really believe in them. I believe that the New York Southern District wants to do the right thing. And I will do everything that I can do to be a part of helping them do that.
And you see all these girls walking into that court. All these girls were 14 when Jeffrey Epstein invited them on his ranch or his island and had sexual abuse. These are girls that are now just going, they're 20 something years old now, and now the justice system is just, the guy's dead. I mean, but like the lady said, he wasn't working alone. So if he's in jail and dead, then why the justice system now just releasing these files, bro? This has been going on for months and years. Years. No, not even months. Years. It's 2026, right? 2019, this all happened. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 9 years. 9 years this has been going on, and they're now just doing something about it. Dumb.
Prosecuted, and the Department of Justice says that Epstein was working alone. These leaked files and Virginia's testimony suggested that other people were involved. In 2019,
She said he worked alone. No, he wasn't, because there's files out there with Elon Musk's on there, Donald Trump's on there, the guy that Microsoft on this on there. If you guys go on YouTube and type in Epstein files, you look for this guy. He's in like a suit jacket. He explains all this before Jeffrey Epstein. So this stuff is crazy.
a few weeks before the official release of the Epstein files, Virginia revealed on social media that she was receiving threats from unknown sources that warned her of what would happen if she kept speaking out. Virginia had announced that she was writing a book about everyone she saw during her time on Epstein's island and on his private plane. Before she could release the book, however, she was hit by a truck. Although she survived this, she allegedly passed away days later. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Shortly before her death, Virginia had actually tweeted about being targeted. The tweet reads, "I am making it publicly known that in no way, shape, or form am I. I've made this known to my therapist and GP. If something happens to me for the sake of my family, do not let this go away and help me to protect them. Too many evil people want to see me quieted."
Welcome back in Live Now. I'm Austin Westfall. Breaking news coming in, some sad news to share. We're learning this from the New York Post, several other outlets reporting this as well. Virginia Giuffre, the most prominent victim of the late convicted Jeffrey Epstein, took her own life on Thursday. This is just weeks after she made headlines for saying that she had days to live after she claimed to have been hit by a bus. A statement given to NBC News was quoted as such from the 41-year-old's family. It says, "It's with utterly broken hearts that we announce that Virginia passed away last night at her farm in Western Australia. She lost her life after being a lifelong victim of sexual abuse." Okay. The New York Post says that Giuffre took legal action against billionaire financier Epstein in 2015, alleging that she was trafficked age 16 after his ex-lover and convicted Madam Ghislaine Maxwell recruited her from her job as a locker room attendant at President Trump.
Okay. You could hear almost say President Trump. Okay. So this girl died. After speaking out about what Jeffrey Epstein did, she got hit by a bus and died. And she was getting text threats. Is that just a coincidence? Or is that someone that was on a bus wanted her quieted? And if she wasn't quiet, they're gonna kill her. Is that just a coincidence? She endlessly gets hit by a bus? No.
Mar-a-Lago resort. The mom of 3, according to the Post, also alleged that she was forced to have sex with disgraced Prince Andrew 3 times when she was 17, including at Epstein's Little St. James Island in New Mexico, and Little St. James Island in New Mexico, and in Maxwell's London home, where a notorious photo of her with King Charles' eldest brother was taken.
So I think SB Island is in New Mexico too, same as a ranch. Which I don't think that's true, but that's what he said.
Virginia was writing before her death was never completed, but part of it was still released. The accusations included in it are part of the reason that Prince Andrews, one of the most powerful people in the British royal family, was later investigated. Believe it or not, but a significant portion of her book actually disappeared right around the time of her death. The part that was sent to her publisher, however, revealed shocking details.
It's a harrowing read and it'll make you feel uncomfortable, but these are the excerpts that stood out for me from the memoir written by the late Virginia Giuffre, which has just been released. In it, she describes being raped by Jeffrey Epstein to, quote, "a man who me more savagely than anyone had before." And that's worth noting that in the US edition of the book, she described the man in legal filings only as, quote, "a prime minister," and that he'd repeatedly choked her until she lost consciousness and, quote, "took pleasure in seeing me fear for my life." Giuffre doesn't name the Prime Minister or many of the other men that she writes about in this book. Her co-author, Amy Wallace, says it shouldn't be up to the survivors of abuse out there. It should be the authorities, which is why she's calling for the so-called Epstein files to be released. Giuffre does name Epstein and Prince Andrew, of course, who she says she had encounters with in multiple locations.
Virginia's final voice note confirmed what the rumors had been saying all along. Epstein wasn't working alone, and if you speak out against him, you may be silenced. The Department of Justice isn't telling the whole story, and they haven't released the complete file.
People thought he was working alone with these girls, and later found out she was telling everybody he was not working alone. She was putting all these names out, and the power people sent her threats. So basically, one of these people that Jeffrey Epstein was around, someone killed her. And it could be anybody. Other girls could be jealous that Jeffrey Epstein was spending more time with them and she had someone, or the girls got in contact with her and they got about it on the thing and they told Jeffrey Epstein what she was saying and made Jeffrey Epstein call someone and say, "I need this girl." We don't know. We don't know who killed her. I mean, this might go into it, but right now it's telling you what what happened.
Though it's been years since Epstein died, Director of the FBI Kash Patel was even caught on tape, making conflicting statements about Epstein. He went on Joe Rogan and said that there was no way that Epstein was murdered. Here's what Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's most trusted advisor, had to say about this.
Do you think he did not die by given all the things we just talked about?
I do not believe he died by.
And do you believe that do you have any speculation or view of who took them?
This voice note was released in 2024. The FBI and the Department of Justice announced that they were going to release the Epstein files 1 year later in 2025. This announcement sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry.
So, last year, they were going to release the Epstein files. Now, why would you wait 8 years? I'm gonna say 9 years because they didn't release them until after Christmas. February. No, not in February. Late February, late January. Late January, they released them. So why would you tell people in 2025 and release them and then they're releasing until 2026? Which doesn't make sense.
Several emails and voice notes from the Epstein files show that Epstein was using his connections in the entertainment world to recruit young women. Epstein was even part of several modeling agencies and named as a scout. Now, guess which person left the US just after this announcement was made? They're losing their mind.
They're losing their mind. She sounded so sincere, didn't she? Very sincere. Choke on her words. But the best one for me is Ellen DeGeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia. But I tell you some stories about that cow. But anyway, to her. But you know, she was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she? Well,
Okay. So now they're getting in Ellen DeGeneres being disgusting like Jeffrey Epstein.
this is why I say release the Diddy file. Yeah. Like, you know, come on, Donald Trump. We want to know whose name. So
Right there. I'm saying many guys. Jeffrey Epstein. Disgusting. Ellen DeGeneres. Disgusting. And Diddy. All over all the other people in the fucking world, Diddy is by far the worst. The worst. Jeffrey Epstein's not far behind Diddy. At least Diddy is in jail. There's ever since Diddy got arrested, there's stuff over the internet about him having sex with Justin Bieber just to get Justin Bieber famous. Just so Justin Bieber could be famous, and I guess Diddy was a rapper, and he had people come over to the Diddy parties. They call them Diddy parties, and people were saying that just to get them famous and to put them on and get people to notice him was to have sex with Diddy, and it was not just girls, guys too. And then it came out that if you did not have sex with them, even if you were a little bit famous or making music, you got people viewing, he would destroy your whole career. If you did not have sex with Diddy, he would destroy your whole YouTube career. He would just destroy it. So that's why he's in jail.
maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that's just thrown at her as well. But what a bunch of hypocrites.
This wasn't the only sign that something was wrong. Shortly after Ellen left the country, her executive producer Twitch, someone she called her right-hand man, passed away. In his note to his wife, Twitch allegedly revealed everything. He told her about what he saw when he was working with Ellen. Things that involved powerful people, including names he never expected to be associated with that kind of darkness. He told Allison that he had been pressured into silence, that people close to him, even Ellen, were not who they claimed to be. Then
Is
came
that
his
her
note.
wife, babe?
Allegedly a recording to Ellen which revealed everything. The voice note, which has never been officially released, has been mentioned in multiple online.
Is that her wife right there?
Darkness. He told Allison that he had been pressured into silence, that people close to him, even Ellen,
Okay.
not.
So that's her wife. And basically what I hear from my girlfriend is they're still together.
Yes. Those are.
Together? After this video? This was 4 days ago. Babe, go on TikTok right now. Type in Ellen DeGeneres. What's her recent video? I want to see why is this wife still with this? I want to know what her recent video is. When you find it, something up.
They claim to be. Then came his voice note, allegedly a recording to Ellen which revealed everything. The voice note, which has never been officially released, has been mentioned in multiple online forums and leaked DMs and.
Learning more tonight about the tragic suicide of Stephen Twitch Boss and the detailed steps he took to hide his plans. TMZ is reporting when Twitch left his home the day before he took an Uber to a motel about a mile away. At the motel, he switched his phone to airplane mode so no one could reach him. The motel manager says he checked in under his own name, never left his room. We also now know that Twitch left his note. Details have not been made public, but TMZ reports the note alluded to challenges Twitch had faced in the past. Entertainer Tyler Perry knows firsthand what that is like.
I'll take you back to a time in my life where I tried to commit suicide because it was so dark that I thought the only way to make this better, this pain go away, is to save my life. Had any of those attempts happened, I would have missed the best part of my life.
Ellen wasn't even trying to hide her alleged involvement in the disturbing things Hollywood is now being exposed for. In one episode with Sandra Bullock, Ellen and Sandra Bullock openly discussed unusual practices and laughed about how it kept them young.
Let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with. It. How many did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do this? Everybody. Okay. Good. Smart.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay. Explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these. Some of you, I think many of you know it. And it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen, and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sarah?
Sarah?
Perry. What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean.
This might sound like a joke, but the rumors of this happening in Hollywood have been there for years. There were even videos showing one Hollywood elite, Peter Nagard, trying to engage in highly controversial activities. This same individual later became notorious for serious criminal allegations and convictions involving exploitation and assault of numerous women over decades.
Peter and I investing in this called SCNT, which takes the eggs of the young fertile woman specimen, takes the egg and takes out the nucleus and puts our DNA in the nucleus. They just go ahead and take it out.
What?
And this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet.
Holy shit.
Black women in Africa. Negroes have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic attraction. And we want some of that.
Okay, that's a little.
You put your egg.
Whoa.
If you have abortion, that's very valuable. Umbilical cord, the center, your theory of blood is so rich with stem cells. We regard it as waste, and it actually should be. It should be kept.
Okay. This is.
The Epstein files show Jeffrey Epstein was interested in genetic medicine. He paid a researcher at Massachusetts General Hospital for tests that could be used to help create stem cells. Investigators found a $2,000 invoice from 2014 for sequencing part of Epstein's genome. The doctor that he paid also provided an estimate for personalized longevity studies that would use gene editing. He told investigators Epstein was enrolled in the Personal Genome Project at Harvard University.
Number 2. We could have done this here. Yeah, I was thinking about, but I was like, you know what? That's a good way to die.
Let me buy that place. Look at it.
Oh, well, you know where that is too, right? It's similar image to that, right?
No.
I know Jamie does.
What is it?
It's on the set of a famous talk show. It's now not on anymore.
Oh, Ellen? Was that Ellen?
Yeah.
Really?
Just look at the temple and then look at the. Let me see Ellen's background.
And just to give you an idea about the kinds of things that were coming out against Ellen,
Okay.
this is what she forced Justin Bieber to do as a prank.
Okay. Holy fucking shit. Holy shit. Chat. Just give me 1 second. Holy shit. All right. Well, my dad said he knows all about this, but I'm telling you guys. I mean, do you guys join in? I mean, this is the you guys are joining in like one by one. This is crazy shit. So I am going to play the rest of this and then I'm going to talk to you guys about it. Okay? No more pausing, no more stopping. Let's just watch the rest of the entire video, and then after we'll talk.
Why don't you just play it then?
This was also when Ellen's nice guy persona was starting to crack. The Ellen show came to an end after
That is all.
evidence related to workplace misconduct surfaced. I think we all remember how shocked everyone was to find out that Ellen, a person who had made being kind her entire personality, was actually very different behind the scenes. Ellen apologized for her behavior, and during her apology, even forced Twitch to be on the show.
Like a lot of people saying that someone who seems so nice is not nice at all. She doesn't seem nice, but that people have a very poor judge of character. She doesn't seem nice. It seems forced. People that are like that all the time, it doesn't seem nice. It's very forced. Whatever. You're allowed to be right. You're allowed to be nasty to people. You're accomplished. You're a comedian. You did the whole thing. What you're not allowed to do is have a Guantanamo Bay situation in the backstage of your show where everybody's walking around afraid for their life, and it's like Abu Ghraib where they're hooked up to wires and they have like, yeah, she's got dogs and hoods. If an intern's late, they have a hood on. I don't support that. That's just me. Yeah, I'm with.
Perfectly with the announcement of the Epstein file release, and fans couldn't help but notice that Ellen also tried to change her appearance too. Someone who had been blonde for all her career changed her hair color and moved to England to start fresh. But the timing was too suspicious for many. Why would Ellen suddenly vanish from the spotlight just as Epstein's associates were being revealed? And why the drastic image change?
Ellen DeGeneres and her wife, Portia de Rossi, have reportedly fled the US bound for the UK after Donald Trump's landslide victory. Numerous publications are reporting the couple have left the United States permanently. There are also reports the couple have put their Montecito mansion on the market. Entertainment publication The Wrap has the exclusive story and said Ellen DeGeneres and wife Portia de Rossi have moved to rural England, put their Montecito estate on the market, and plan to never return to the United States, telling friends the election of Donald Trump was their primary motivation. Ellen DeGeneres has been a vocal Trump critic, so the move doesn't come as a surprise to both.
We know for a fact that Epstein was recruiting young women, models, and child actors from the entertainment industry. In one of his emails, Epstein said that to a film director researching a really bad person that gets sent to his island. Epstein told her, "That person is me. Your friend told me about the project she is doing. Researching a really bad person that gets sent to his island. She almost fainted when I told her that person was me." This is 7 months before his arrest.
Question. Which one do you prefer? Lewd and lascivious conduct or procuring my... I suppose lewd and lascivious conduct. I would prefer lewd and lascivious conduct with a prostitute if possible. That exchange between Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell on May 23rd, 2008 is part of some 18,000 emails from Epstein's personal Yahoo account obtained by Bloomberg News. The emails, which suggest the inbox was most active between 2005 and 2008, include messages spanning 2002 to 2022. Epstein died in 2019, and emails received after that are largely spam or marketing offers. Overall, the emails offer a raw look into the disgraced financier and vendor's world. While this inbox wasn't the only one he used, the newly uncovered emails do suggest how central Maxwell was to his life, something that contradicts her telling of events. She's characterized herself as a former girlfriend and property manager for Epstein, not someone with eyes into his vast influence machine.
Wow.
Following the release of the Epstein files, several of his victims have started speaking out and revealing exactly what happened on that night. Marie,
Hold on. Let's rewind back. Right here. Alright, what he said right after here.
the release of the Epstein files, several of his victims have started speaking.
Who's that? Who the fuck is that? That is fucking Donald fucking Trump. He was saying in the Epstein files that he never was with Epstein. That all this shit was made about Obama. Bro, you were right fucking there.
Out and revealing exactly what happened on that island. Marina Lacerda, one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, said, "There are people out there who know more about me than I do. The government is still in possession right now of the documents and information that could help me remember and get over all of this. I don't have any of it."
Until now, Marina Lacerda was known publicly only as victim number 1 in 2019 court documents. But now she's speaking out for the first time about her experience at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Her cooperation with the FBI was key to putting this offender behind bars. She says she was just 14 years old and living in a broken home in New York City when a friend brought her to meet Epstein to give him a massage.
I think with Jeffrey Epstein, it starts somewhere, but then it ends with either you having sex with him, whether you like it or not.
So her friend betrayed her. Invited her friend to go to Epstein's island for a massage. And she just said it ends with something, and it starts with something, and it ends worse.
She became a part of a network of young girls in Astoria, Queens, recruited to be with Epstein, similar to what prosecutors say he did in Palm Beach, Florida.
When he has somebody new in his life, he likes to see them a lot. So I went there a whole bunch of times, and it led to, unfortunately, he forced me to have basically.
Lacerda says she was paid thousands of dollars and that as a young immigrant from Brazil, she says she believed being associated with a financier could lead to better opportunities.
It never happened, obviously, because it came to a point when I was, I'd say 16 and a half or 17. He didn't want me. He was just like, "You're too old." He said that. He's like, "You're too old. I don't want you anywhere."
Another victim claimed in her testimony,
I don't know what to say, chat. 17, 18 is just weird. Obviously, he's saying by 17 you're too old. So, if I'm hearing this correctly, he was into little girls that I'm able to drive for another 3 years. And him, had sex with those girls. Now, I don't give a fuck what happened with his life. This is just fucking disgusting. This is a disgrace. This is a disgrace to the United States of fucking America, bro. Jeffrey Epstein, has problems. I mean, he's not alive anymore. But man, he had issues. Big, fat, and disgusting issues.
that she was so scared of what Epstein was doing to her that she tried to swim off of his island. In her testimony, the victim said, "I already had 2 prior escape attempts. There was one when I tried to swim off."
And no, this is not a cover up for something else. Those Epstein files are not cover ups. Alright, guys, if you think they're cover ups, tell me. Because what I'm seeing right here, what I'm seeing on right now, what I'm seeing right here is that this is not just YouTube people talking. This is on the news. This is a news channel that went viral 4 days ago. Well, not really. Had 400 views, so it really didn't go viral, but you know what I'm saying. 4 days ago, on the news, all this stuff happened. So don't say it's a cover up.
The island
Now,
after I'd been there
next time I'm with Enemy, which probably will be when I get back from my vacation in Europe, I'm gonna sit down with him. We're gonna go live either on his channel or my channel, and we're gonna explain and we're gonna tell you guys if we think these Epstein files are fake. I'm gonna do some research on the Epstein files while I'm on vacation, while I'm on a plane, whatever I'm doing, while I'm sitting around the house, wherever. I'm gonna search up Epstein files. I might, if I can go live in Europe, I might hop on there and say something about Epstein. Most of my lives are gonna be going to the Anne Frank house, which tomorrow night, no, tomorrow night, well, I won't be here. Tonight, I'm gonna go live tonight, and I'm gonna watch some of this Anne Frank stuff. So join live tonight to see what Anne Frank was really about, to get some research on it before I go to Anne Frank house. But right now, let's focus on this video.
times, and after Ghislaine had taken my food away, I was prepared to risk my life trying to escape off that island that night.
I have spent the last 17 years in my own prison. For what she, Jeffrey, and all the co-conspirators did to me, I was repeatedly. I was 3 times a day sometimes. And I was not the only girl on that island. There was a constant stream of girls being over and over and over again. And yes, Ghislaine must be in prison because I've been in hell and back the last 17 years.
27 for me.
I was 10 years old when Liz Stein was being picked. I was 10. That is how long this trafficking ring has been going.
Parts of the file where the victim revealed what was happening on the island have been redacted.
She was 10 years old. She got raped 3 times a day from this guy. There's 28 minutes more of this video.
However, another alleged victim, a young model by the name of Gabriela Jimenez, broke down outside a hotel back in 2009, screaming that she had seen something horrifying involving powerful guests. These were the same things Ellen was laughing about with Sandra Bullock.
Son las muchas realidades de la joven Gabriela Jiménez, que como fueron un momento intentó también agredir al elemento policial que logró someterla esta madrugada después de bueno.
It wasn't just Ellen that was joking about things that were later proven true. From the recently released Department of Justice Epstein files, People have noticed that words related to food show up unusually often in emails and documents. The word pizza appears hundreds of times, along with mentions of ice cream and grape soda in places where they just don't make sense. These repetitions have driven a lot of online speculation that such words might be coded references, but that meaning is not established by law enforcement.
So I don't know what this one means. I'm not sure if you've seen it. So Jeffrey Epstein sending it to Colin Olivier. By the way, imagine
Thanks, Will.
innocent that wasn't involved in anything incriminating, and maybe before Epstein was charged with in 2008, before the truth started coming out of what he's guilty of. If someone was caught in this email thread talking about something innocent with Epstein, I feel bad for them. So my heart goes out to them, and I hope they don't get stuck along with everyone else that's actually been involved in things that are incriminating. But this one sends an email. No, some are like shrimp. You throw away the head and keep the body. And then Olivier replies, as long as you don't have any hammerhead ones, are like white sharks. And then Jeffrey sends an email the next day. As two are Russian, I guess some might refer to them as white sharks. And then Olivier then emails, the king of Saudi has a few white sharks in his Jeddah palace. I totally prefer yours. Sure, I will.
So they're using code names for girls. Right there it says as two are Russian. Okay? Right there shows you there's girls. Two are Russians. I guess some might refer to them as white sharks. First of all, you can't tell if a shark is Russian. Okay? It's just funny how they think they're hiding that with white sharks, bro. No.
Jordan. And then Jeffrey goes, on my island in the Caribbean with an aquarium full of girls. So this is an email that it says just refers to Russian girls. Two are Russian, doesn't say girls, two are Russian and refers to them as white sharks. And then later says, the King of Saudi has some, I prefer yours. And then later talks about an aquarium full of girls. It's just another example, in my opinion, of code words being used. I just don't know what it would be. What do you make of this?
So what I make of it is basically he's saying that they'll hook up with ugly girls, that the head doesn't matter so much, that the body's what matter. That's the way I read it. That's what I think Epstein means by that, is basically saying like some of them are like shrimp. You can take off the head, just keep the body. So in other words, that's based on reading a lot of this stuff. That's my take. It totally could be wrong.
These code words aren't proof of wrongdoing, but they have given fuel to conspiracy theories.
Alright. Another thing now of this. Okay. Now, correct me if I'm fucking wrong. Cut off the heads and keep the bodies. Are you telling me they're cut off the heads and they cut off the heads and keep the bodies there and fucking a corpse? Is that what they're saying right here? Listen to what he says.
In my opinion, of code words being used. I just don't know what it would mean. What do you make of this?
So what I make of it is basically he's saying that they'll hook up with ugly girls, that the head doesn't matter so much, that the body's what matter. That's the way I read it. That's what I think Epstein means by that, is basically saying like some of them are like shrimp. You can take off the head, just keep the body. So in other words, that's based on reading a lot of this stuff. That's my take. It totally could be wrong.
Okay. That's that said about cut off the heads. No, it wasn't that. It was that if these girls were butt ugly, Epstein wouldn't mind because all he cared about was the body and sex. So that's what I said about fucking corpse. That was wrong. It's only he said they shouldn't cut off the head and keep the body, which means that if they're so ugly to them that they would just don't worry about the head, just worry about the body. So like they wouldn't even like look at the head. They was just like worry about the body looking. So most basically Epstein will fuck any girl he can get his hands on, even if they're ugly. So Code Wars cut out the shrimp and use it it's like shrimp off the head and keep the body. It's basically mean that he would fuck but ugly girls and don't worry about the face, just worry about the body.
Words aren't proof of wrongdoing, but they have given fuel to conspiracy theories such as Pizzagate. The worst part is that the elites in power aren't even trying to explain their way out anymore.
2017 speeches and interviews, you described Pizzagate as a baseless conspiracy theory, alleging you and others ran a trafficking ring from a Washington pizzeria basement. Have you reviewed any 2025-2026 Epstein files that were released that you believe reference or relate to those specific 2016 claims regarding the Podesta emails, Comet Ping Pong Pizza used as code, possibly?
I'm sorry, just her about whether he's reviewed emails
in the Epstein files,
which relate to the wacky Pizzagate.
You could characterize it however you want. I just would like to know if she's familiar with any of them.
So, your question is about whether or not she has reviewed any emails in the Epstein release files about Pizzagate.
Correct.
Pizzagate was totally made up. It was an outrageous allegation that ended up hurting a number of people, that caused a deranged young man to show up with his rifle and shoot up a local pizzeria. I can't believe you're even referencing it. You should be.
There are connections to the language.
Few enough people believe there are. So
I don't know what few have
at it. Have at it.
At this point, it's not even about one person anymore. It's about a system that keeps repeating the same pattern. People speak out, and then suddenly they're silenced, discredited, or gone. Files get delayed, evidence disappears, and the truth gets buried under headlines that never quite add up. So, what do you think? Is it a coincidence or something being covered up? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns,
Drop your thoughts, guys.
make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
It's time.
There you go, chat. Basically, that's all I need to know. I mean, there's probably more videos out there about this. Sorry, more news out there about this, but right now, what this is showing me is all I really need to know. Okay, chat. Well, I am going to end the live. And like I said, I'll be back on tonight because I'm going to show you guys some Anne Frank stuff that I want to see in Europe. You'll get a better look at more lives if I can do a live, you know. My mom and dad tell me you can do lives, which if Speed can do it, I'm pretty sure I can do it. Okay, so there'll be lives. There'll definitely be a big ass blog come on my YouTube channel the day I get back, which will be I'll probably upload the 13th or 14th. Depends how long it takes me to edit everything. But there'll be a blog and there'll be videos while I'm up there. And there, if I can do live, there'll be lives. I'll see you later, chat. I'm out. Peace.